while it is obviously going to be a competitive environment, it's not to the point where it's like cutthroat or people don't want to help each other out. So it's also it's a great environment as well because you're the 20 top biology students, I guess, in the nation. So it's very exciting to sort of be around these other kids and talk to them and find other people that are as interested in biology as you are. So it's a good environment to be in.
Awesome. Sounds like a great time. Um, so do you know if students will be able to go out during their 2 weeks at all? Or did you have any experiences like that when you were there?
Um, Students will be with the rest of the group basically the entire time. I mean, it's not there. If you do go out, it's in the context of going out with the rest of Biology Olympiad. So, like for instance, last year, there was a field trip out, or I guess equivalent of field trip out to the nearby hospital where we got to watch an open heart surgery.
Cool.
But there isn't really an opportunity to go out and like explore the area, and you wouldn't necessarily have a lot of time to do that anyways.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. What kind of experiences did you get from going to the open heart surgery? What did you think you learned
Uh,
from it?
so I mean, the open heart surgery that was last year. So even though I wasn't a camper, I got to go as one of the TAs.
Cool.
So that was really interesting because I mean I'd never seen anything like that before, and it was I mean I don't think I'm necessarily become go into medicine myself in the future, but it was like really cool to actually just be able to see the surgery because you're watching from, I don't know if anybody else has ever been to one of these things before, but you basically just get to watch in from sort of a glass ceiling above the surgery, and there's like 20 different doctors in there and different all these sorts of really crazy machines, and you get to see the actual surgery up close. So it was kind of cool to see something like that in person after we'd done like sheep heart, or we'd like looked at hearts before, but actually seeing dissection like that in real life was interesting.
Cool. Cool. Um, so going off that, if you guys are going to be going out to like field trips, are there any other events during your time where there was a certain dress code where they would have to wear anything formal, or is it just or what's the dress code for the weeks?
So the dress code for basically every day is that since students are going to be in and out of labs all day, we give them lab coats and everything, but we are required to have well, closed-toed shoes and uh, pants at all times for going in and out of the labs. Um, and so that's like the only thing for day to day. And other than that, there's an opening award ceremony and the closing or opening ceremony and then the closing award ceremony, and both of those require formal attire. So like a suit, for instance, or jacket, like blazer at least.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, those were all the questions that were written beforehand. But having been a camper and now a TA just this past year, do you have any advice for, since there are parents on this webinar, any advice for parents to pass on to their kids, or any advice for kids going into the week?
Um, Advice. Well, I can't speak as much to parents necessarily, but my advice for kids at least would be, I know that I think it can be sort of stressful at first to think about all these, like to sort of be going into a competition like this, but definitely just try to make sure you're sleeping well before you get there because things will, yeah, I mean, while you'll definitely have plenty of time to sleep while you're at camp, it is going to be pretty busy. So you're going to want to make sure you're coming in to camp with sort of all the energy that you need. So don't stress yourself out studying because it's going to be a really good time. And even though it is a competition, it's also sort of very much an experience. Like I think they showed earlier in the slide, like half the kids end up in Boston, like another 20 to 25% end up in California. So like those groups especially, even after nationals is over, I think there's different biology Olympiad reunions at least a couple times a year in Boston, maybe in California as well. So it's definitely, you form a very tight-knit community. So it's something to look forward to.
Cool.
And I don't know if my mom has any advice for parents, but
Yeah, I was just about to ask her. Yeah.
I think the main advice that I would give is that the kids are so busy not to be worried if you're not hearing from them, because I kind of thought I'd be able to hear from William, every day, and he just sounded like he was going from class to class and would maybe be able to check in every once in a while he was going across campus to another lecture, but they are so busy, and you have to let them go a little bit and trust that everything is going well. One thing that you mentioned earlier in the conversation was that you'd be posting pictures and things on the website, and that would be great. Not sure it was done quite as much before, but if you like CEE, the Facebook page, or if they're going to be posting pictures of the kids on the website, that's really helpful just for parents to be able to kind of touch base and get an idea of what they're doing.
Yeah, we will be doing that, and I'll actually be going to the camp and taking higher quality pictures and doing some interviews with the kids as well. So there'll definitely be a lot more media circulating.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you two wish to expound upon your knowledge about USABO? Maybe what the process is like once Team USA is selected, what that's going to look like for maybe kids who get selected for that.
Yeah, I guess for kids that get selected, basically what happens is for the next I guess it's like 2 days, I think, basically, it'll just be the 4 kids that are selected and then the TAs. And so basically what we'll do is we go over the exams with them, sort of touch up on anything that they like, go over the problems that they missed and touch up on those topics, and also go over some additional topics, help them prepare what they need to do to be ready for the IBO, and then do any other sorts of maybe practical lab skills that they still feel they need practice working on. But I mean, those last few days are a much more relaxed environment. Typically, we will be working during the day. It's also there's more free time for the kids to sort of self-study or just talk to each other, because the TAs need time as well to sort of help pack stuff up. So it's definitely more of a relaxed environment than just studying all day.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you.
The other thing I was going to mention is just that, the kids are always there with Kathy Frame, and I'm assuming that'll be the thing this year, but she really watches over them and lets you know what's going on, and she's always kind of monitoring what's going on and watching the kids. So that was always nice for me to know that she was always right there.
Yeah, she takes good care of us.
Yeah, Kathy's good. Kathy's a good one. And she'll be available. She's not here right now. She's out of the office, but I'll be sure to give you all her email. And she's very easy to talk to, I think. Mm-hmm. She's a nice person. Well, I'm just thinking what else we could talk about. We have a few more minutes.
Yeah, my day has been going well. I actually have free time at home until I go to do research through a program that was set up because of CEE. So even after you finish Biology Olympiad, CEE has other programs. It does help set up new connections, I guess, to sort of help you find future work, or also get into college and stuff. So I have a research job this summer because of that. So it's definitely a very useful thing to have outside of the national camp experience itself.
That's awesome. It's really
Yeah, actually, if I could jump in, that's something I think that some parents and maybe some of the students don't really recognize at the beginning is how much support, continual support, CEE provides. The USABO and the RSI, the Research Science Institute, is one of the other programs that I mentioned at the outset of this. But the other programs, all of the programs that CEE supports, provide continual support to these students as they finish high school, as they go into college, and frankly, for the rest of their careers. You can talk to alums that have been involved in RSI as early as 1984 and every year since, and USABO since 2013. I'm sorry, since 2003, and find that they're able to lean on CEE for help, for support, for resources, for recommendations, for ideas, pointers of where to look for new experiences, new job offers, things like that. It's really an amazing resource that I think some students really take terrific advantage of. So I would encourage all of you as parents to have your students really take as much advantage as they can of CEE's resources.
Yeah. And again, you can access any of that through our website, cee.org. And any of us at the organization are always ready and willing to talk to any one of you about any of these programs. Someone had asked about events on 5/28 or 6/8. I don't believe there's anything on 5/28, but 6/8 is going to be the closing ceremony. So just for your information, that's when the awards dinner is going to happen. That's when we'll announce Team USA. So if you wanted to be around for that, then you can. But other than that, no.
I was going to ask Will, do any parents ever go to the award ceremonies?
Yeah,
They
definitely.
do? Okay.
I mean, award ceremony is fun to watch, or maybe it's more fun for the kids, but it's yeah, I guess it is kind of exciting to see everybody getting announced, I guess.
Yeah. And is it just Team USA that's announced, or do people win other awards as well?
The way awards work at USABO is there's the gold medalists, silver medalists, and bronze medalists, and there's 4 of each. So the 4 gold medalists will be the ones that go onto IBO, and then 5 through 8 get silver, and 9 through 12 get bronze.
Okay, cool. So pretty much everyone's represented. And you said that the dress for the award ceremony is full suit, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think I'm sure one of the documents that you've got that the parents and kids received or will receive might go into better detail about what's required, but it is formal attire required for those.
Okay, cool. Do you remember what you wore for your year?
Pretty sure it was just a suit.
Cool. Well, it's 6:45 now.
The other thing I was gonna ask William, do you all keep in touch through Facebook? Do you have a Facebook group that you keep in touch with your friends from USABO?
Yeah, from our year, and yeah, there's a Biology Olympiad Facebook group for kids that I'm a part of. I don't know if there's a new one every year, or but there definitely is a Facebook group for kids that keep in touch with each other, and kids also do keep in touch with each other. Like, I know that the 3 kids that were on IBO with me the year that I went are like all at MIT now, and I'm pretty sure they all like live together in the same, are all going to be living together in the same dorm. So they're all very close, and they're close with other kids that were in Biology Olympiad other years. So it's definitely a tight-knit community in that sense.
Really cool.
Yeah, and as I said, this goes on and on. it's interesting. I was talking to one of the very first alums on RSI, which again is a little older program than USABO, but he went through the program in 1984, and he still referred to his class as the kids who did this in '84. I reminded him that he's in his 50s now, but that he still, all these years later, since 1984, he still has regular communications with the other students who were in his class that year. So they have get-togethers. They communicate by email and Facebook and so forth. So there really is a sense of community for both USABO and RSI as the years go by, and I think that's a valuable thing for students.
Yeah, it certainly is. And now that we're in the age of technology, we have the way of communicating via social media. So definitely be sure to like that Facebook page so you can connect with all your buddies from camp, and don't be afraid to get in touch with them afterwards, because it's the communities that you create that you'll be able to go farther. You'll be able to reach out to people later on in life and do great things, all in the name of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So Diane, did you have anything else pertaining to your view as a parent? I know we've talked a lot about the student's perspective going into camp, but is there anything you as a parent were worried or concerned about as your child was entering USABO for the first time?
I wouldn't say I was worried at all. I just thought it was such an incredible experience. I couldn't believe how CEE took everybody under their wing and organized things and took care of our kids. I was just very impressed. I think the kids that are doing this are probably pretty independent and have been studying hard to get this far, and they're ready for this next step. And I think it's a very exciting one for them. So I'd say the only thing is, like I said before, is there's really, for those 2 weeks when I wasn't used to having my son away for so long, it was a little hard because they really are not in touch that much because they're so busy. But it's a fabulous experience, so I can't say enough about it.
Yeah, very cool.
Wow. It really is a great program.
Yeah. And when you did get in touch with Will, was it for very long, or did you guys schedule like times to communicate with each other and make sure that Will was still doing okay?
Yeah, it was kind of hard to schedule times because they were so busy going from class to another lecture to open heart surgery, whatever they were doing. So he would call me sort of whenever he could, and I just tried not to miss those moments, but
right.
They're pretty busy.
Yeah, but I do think it would be a good idea if parents did communicate at least like once or twice with their kid, just make sure they're all right. But I'm sure they will do that anyways.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'd just say as well, if parents are trying to plan when kids will be most available, it's going to be probably around either lunchtime, which is at like noon, or 9 p.m. probably, or maybe like 9 to 10 p.m. maybe, because that's usually when the TA lectures end, and after that, kids have free time to just self-study or do whatever they want.
Cool. And another question on that free time, quote unquote, what do you recommend students should be using that free time for? Extra study, sleep? Should they go out and play for a bit? Or what do you think is best?
I mean, each student kind of uses it in their own way, but for the most part, kids will be, a lot of the kids will be studying. Definitely there's like a common room sort of area, so kids will be studying together. Some might be just sleeping, some you can spend some time like just sort of relaxing as well, since it's gonna be busy days. But I would say probably a lot of the time is used for studying, because you cover a lot of material in just the 1.5 weeks before you have to take the exams. So it does take some extra time to sort of absorb it all.
Yeah, that makes sense. But sleep is important too, right?
Yeah, sleep is definitely important, and kids, there is definitely still plenty of time to get sleep, so that's not it should not be a concern.
Okay, amazing. Well, I don't think we have too many other questions from the audience. If there's any last remarks any of us want to make, go ahead and do that. But after that, we can just go ahead and wrap up.
Again, I'd like to thank everybody for participating, and most of all, I'd like to thank you for having your son or daughter be part of this event. It's a wonderful thing for them, but it's wonderful for CEE to see these students and what they achieve in this relatively short period of time is just heartening. It's amazing. When I see the videos of the awards and so forth, it really makes me proud to be connected to CEE. So thank you for having your students do the wonderful things that they do.
Diane or Will, or any last thoughts?
Oh, I would just have to say, as a parent, this has been an incredible experience for Will, and I'm really happy that he was able to participate in it. And it's, you know, from being a student to being a TA to doing an internship. I mean, it's really been an important part of his young adult life so far.
Cool. And Will, any last thoughts?
No, my mom definitely kind of covered it there. It's national finals was definitely a really incredible, unique experience. So, it's your kids, I'm sure, are gonna have a great time because I know I did.
Yeah. Well, thank you two again for joining us, and thank you, Doug, for hosting. If anyone has any further questions for either Diane or Will, feel free to reach out to them. But if you have any questions for us at CE about like procedural stuff, about like events, things more specific to what's going to be happening in the next couple weeks, definitely give Kathy Frame an email. And if you need her contact information, just contact me since you already have my info. But just want to thank everybody who did and was able to join for joining. And we are very excited to have your kids at USABO in just about a week. So thanks all again, and have a great rest of your day.